Dear brothers and sisters, and our father from Vadakangulam, rarely do we see the road that we have to follow until we come to the destination. And that is true whether we are going uphill, downhill, or on a level stretch with turns, And now, having completed 86 years of age, I can see how well my road was laid out by one who governs all our destinies. Because my education started in a Christian institution in Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. It was a Protestant Church of England institution. I remember that for some time I was also singing in the choir. And in those days, we had to be examined by the Diocese of Nagpur. And my chosen paper was the Gospel according to St. Marg. If we did not pass that, we could not go up for the Cambridge exam. My school had its own church, Christ Church, Jabalpur. And I have attended a lot of services. I knew many of the hymns by heart. And having grown up in that tradition of mercy, compassion, as something that should dominate our lives. Love, mercy, compassion, no judgment. Of course, since it was school, it had a deep impression. Now that church in Jabalpur, my Christ Church, itself has a bishop. And 2 or 3 years ago, we were honored to have the visit by the bishop, along with the headmaster of my school, who stayed a couple of days here in our ashram. Why I say this is, if there is opportunity available, you must all visit some of these churches. Pray there. There is no temple of Rama, no temple of, Allah, no temple of Christ. Every temple is a place of worship. So whenever you have an opportunity, please do go and sit in a church. See how spick and span they are maintained. It is beautiful, it is clean. All of them. And if they are large enough to have an organ, the music is something, I must say, heavenly. At least it taught me how not to be a bigot. It taught me not to be only a Hindu. I was born a Hindu, of course. But as I was just telling you all, I was brought up in a Christian tradition. in school. And there, cleanliness is next to godliness. I don't know how many of you have heard this and how many of you have remembered it throughout your life, whatever it has been so far. Do you really look upon cleanliness as godliness? Or are we just content with a wet cloth wiped over our face and sanctimoniously coming out of the puja room? Are we satisfied with the way we behave in our toilets? We have to learn a lot from others. I won't say other religions, other cultures, from everybody else. So if you are just learning here what an ashram is, then I'm sorry, your education has been truncated. You have to learn that meditation is worship transferred from a God outside to a God within me, within myself. The doctrine of immanence, the temple worship, ritualistic worship, is all about God outside. So we are very happy when we go to a temple, do our duty, whatever, for 15 minutes, come out, and probably spit just outside. Some of them we see even in our ashrams. We always have trouble with smokers who are unable to not smoke for the 2 hours they are here. They go outside and stand at the gate. And after satsang, you will fill 40, 50, 60 cigarette stubs. I do not know how many people wonder what is happening inside, that there are so many cigarette stubs outside. So you see, unless you are able to consider this ashram or any of our ashrams as a place where you worship God, it must be clean, must be beautiful, well scented, well ventilated. It must carry an aura, of something superior. When we go into it, when I used to go to a church, I have been to so many churches. You immediately, if you don't, you stop talking. And if at all you have to talk, you speak in whispers. Automatically. Now Babuji says, have a special place for your sadhana, so that when you go there, you will have that immediate atmosphere of worship into which you fall, so that your meditation is, half done. I mean, atmosphere-wise, attitude-wise. And you just don't throw off one's chapel on the east and one chapel to the west and walk in. Are we doing it? No, because we don't consider meditation to be a form of worship. And because we don't consider it to be a form of worship, we don't clean this, which we call alayam, in Tamil, temple. Nenjil or alayam. The heart is a temple. So we keep it dirty, filled with filthy thoughts, anger, hatred, lust. And what are we meditating on? We don't know. And then, I can go on for hours like this. The idea is, when we come into this place, which is externally also a place of worship, because we worship in it. There is no such thing as a church or a temple or a mosque. Everything is labeled according to what you use it for. That is a kitchen because we cook there. That's a bedroom because we sleep there. This is a meditation hall because we meditate here. See? So, you have to learn what to do, where to do it, how to do it, and when to do it. In the religious, ritualistic way, we have to go to a place of worship to worship. That is why people rush to temples or churches whenever there is someone sick, or there is an examination for the child at home, or there is a marriage. Here, when we have him, this becomes a temple. Each one of us should be carrying a temple within himself. So our ashram maintenance must start from here. Is my heart clean? Is it full of beauty, worshipful things? Light, not darkness. See? Or is it something we are afraid to look into? So starting from here, your ashram maintenance starts. You have to do this first, then keep this clean, then you keep the ashram clean, your environment. You see, in modern days, there is so much talk about environmental cleanliness, purity, whatever, But are we, like a very good Indian, sweeping everything and throwing it outside our doorstep? Our dirt belongs outside. Our filth belongs outside. Some of these big temples, you will be shocked if you go around the temple early morning and see what has been done along the temple wall. I don't have to spell it out for you. So I want you to remember that an ashram is not a specified locality or a specified construction in a specified place. The ashram begins here, and therefore wherever I go it has to be clean. I must not allow impure thoughts to enter into me. I must not allow, lust, anger, greed to enter into me. I must keep this light always pure, always lit. It will not have to be relit ever and ever again. We come with it lit by our Maker. Our duty is not merely to keep it lit throughout our life, but to make it brighter and brighter, stronger and stronger, until it becomes me and I am nothing. You understand? So like a man with a candle goes into a dark room and illuminates that room, Wherever we go, this light must be spread. We must carry the lamp of love, of charity, of compassion, of mercy, wherever we go with us. That must illuminate. If it is itself, blown out, then wherever I go, I am afraid. Because my own lamp is not lit. How will I not be afraid? So you see, you have to change your ideas of ashram maintenance. Of course, all that you have been taught, what you have been told, are very relevant. But remember, this ashram, Nature or Alayam, it's a temple. It's not merely an ashram, it's a temple. This must be kept clean. You must start with your own morning meditation. Give it the true sense of worship. This is not merely a human heart filled with all the bad things of a human being, but day by day aspiring to a greater and greater degree of divinization, of holiness. And then that will automatically pervade your lives. If this is to be clean, my bedroom will be clean, my kitchen will be clean, I will not waste. Waste not, want not. In our old tradition, before we had gas and all these things, we had only these chulas, wooden chulas, where wood was burnt. The bride brought fire from her home, or in some cultures, the bridegroom took it from his home. And then that chula was never put out. At night it is banked with ash. In the morning you just remove the ash and blow it, and in that same fire, start the day's cooking. Until when the end of the journey comes, that same fire is taken in the Hindu tradition to cremate that person. You understand? So this fire comes with us through meditation, prayer, holy thoughts, pure thoughts. We keep it alight. That fire in the kitchen comes with the bride or bridegroom, is kept alive throughout until it goes to take me on to my other destinations. So please remember that ashram maintenance is a total concept, beginning with the beginning of my life to the end of my life. Every day, every hour, every minute must be imbued with that holiness, with that purity. See? Love all, do not judge. Have mercy, compassion as your motives. It's easy to judge. You may be anything and yet you can judge somebody else. But the purest, they don't judge. They have only compassion. Because they say, how? I know what struggles I have undergone to come to what I am. So how can I judge you, or how can I judge you? Judge not, that ye be not judged. See? So please remember, In this process, discipline plays a large part. Control of your thoughts, regulation, because that is where everything begins. If you regulate it there, it cannot come into action. If it cannot come into action, there is no result. So if you want to live in a world in which you are not the cause of any results, regulate this through this. This for facts, this for etiquette and moral values. You understand? Remember this idea of totality of ashram maintenance. Do visit a church. They have no inhibitions about allowing non-Christians to allow entry. They would be delighted. Go sit there half an hour. Before I joined Sahaj Marg, when I was in foreign countries on my company work, and I was troubled for whatever reason, I used to go to a church and sit there. Doing nothing, just in keeping with Babaji's later message, which I understood, silence is the language of God. Be silent, be still. Physically, controlled. Mind controlled so that there is no turmoil. And then you see the peace of the place. And then you see the peace that is inside you, which you are seeking normally every moment to destroy by so many extraneous thoughts, unnecessary thoughts, irrelevant thoughts. So please remember, my idea of ashram maintenance is what I have given you a short synopsis of. Try to think more about it, and try to act by it, live by it, and become whatever you must become by it. Thank you, and blessings.